Welcome everybody to our latest Live Motocross times Whiskey Throttle podcast as we talk all things Glendale following a wild fourth round of the 2025 AMA Supercross season. Before we welcome the great man Jeff, we'd obviously like to thank the fans for listening and supporting the site. We definitely really appreciate it. We'd also like to thank the sponsors in Fly Racing, 24MX, Dirt Store, and Fuchs Silkaline for all their incredible support, as without them, none of this would be possible. All right, thanks again for joining us, Jeff. How's life, mate? It's been a busy one at Glendale. You're on your way back now, so no rest for the wicked.
Yeah, man, it's been it was an interesting round. That is one big ass floor, dude. That's all. I think I walked 10 miles on Saturday, and I walked in from the pits and I stayed in that building and I still walked 10 miles. I never went back out of the building. That place was absolutely massive to get around in. But it's definitely one of my favorite places, and that track was freaking insane. The whoop section was gnarly. All those quads, dude. My hat was off to Dirtworks for that one.
Yeah, mate, there was a lot going on that track, and there was certainly some pretty interesting obstacles and really cool rhythm sections, a few different options, and a lot of the riders were having issues with those big jumps to flat, saying the knees and the arms were getting jarred, and it was just like quite a demanding track, three races, just hitting that lap after lap. So did you hear any of that sort of stuff? You know, bikes getting damaged, axles with Ferrandis, all this kind of stuff, mate. It was a pretty good test for everyone, wasn't it? Mechanics, riders, track crew, everyone.
Yeah, they took that roller out right before the start or the finish line, and I know Ken made a comment about that in the finish line, or I mean in the post race press conference, and it was like, yeah, this why the hell they take that shit out? Just leave it, dude. It wasn't going to cause anybody to wreck, but it gave them just a little bit of a transition. But I mean, they thought it was in their best interest, and they changed the lip, but those guys blow through that lip, and they end up keep sending it. And I mean, I was 10 feet from those guys as they were going over the triple over the start straight and then turn around and they're blasting off that wall. And I was like, dude, it looks like X Games step up over here. You know, it was just insane. And they should have made that like a bonus section, but the track was just ridiculous. I guess you're saying Ferranda's broken axle. I know Grant Harlan broke an axle, snapping chains, and that track was brutal, dude. I wouldn't want no part of that crap.
Yeah, mate, it looks pretty demanding, but yeah, made for some really great racing as well. And I guess we'll start with the 450s, mate. Chase Sexton getting the job done. You know, he had some interesting starts. Some races you thought he might have pushed through a bit more, but he did really well. He was consistent. You know, he's always hard on himself and he wants to win and probably wants to win by winning some of those Triple Crown events. But yeah, he rode well. Had a couple of mistakes here and there, but yeah, I think he was pretty stoked to get the win. Believe he's got the red plate again, mate. So your take on Chase's night, and also just give us some thoughts on some of the content you got too, mate. You got some absolutely ripping stuff. Was it a good track to film on? Some of those sand sections, the starts you definitely got it dialed in trackside.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst one. It was probably the best track to film this year. The only problem is going from the safety hole to the floor. You basically, especially with the Triple Crown being so short, you were married to being on the floor or in the safety hold. I wish we had access like Salt Lake. We could jump up into the safety hold instantaneously if we needed to on the corners. That's one thing I'd like to see opened up, but they're all blocked off to be able to get up into the safety hold and get a shot. But I mean, hey, we're lucky to be there, so I can't really bitch. But the safety hold on the triple after he came back across the start gate and went over that wall, did that little rhythm, and then that big triple in the back corner. That was bitching in the safety hold. I posted a video of Rocks and just showing drain plug over that thing, and I'm eye level with him. I'm like, dude, this is pretty badass, and Deegan too. But the rest of the track shot well. We had a big area in between the finish line and the outer rhythm, and then the whoops section, those four rhythms over there. We had a big alley that went all the way down in to the landing of the triple over the start straight. So we were able to get good angles for shots and stuff. So it was definitely good filming. But Chase, he rode good. I'm bummed I missed Tomac blast past him in that last moto. I wish I would have got that on film.
Yeah, he was on rails, wasn't he, Tomac? You just think if he could have got the starts as well, he would have been so much better. And then Cooper Webb, obviously, there was all that talk about him not being so great at Glendale, and he definitely proved the doubters wrong. He had a little bit of a chip on the shoulder, mate. Once again, shows that you can never count him out. But yeah, he was up there, winning one of those races, really great speed, which you don't often associate him with on those sort of surfaces. But yeah, as the season heads east for a couple of weeks there, mate, it's going to be pretty awesome to see what he can do. And he's definitely probably in a better position than he would have predicted. So yeah, look out for Cooper Webb, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, he went off. The dog came out in him. I was kind of bummed he didn't get the win the way he rode. You know, going the parade lap and he just sends it. I was like, holy shit! And then he just went off. I'm like, dude, this Webb's winning today, but it didn't quite work out for him. But that was good to see. Webb win and Tomac win. Chase up there. Completely bummed out for Jet. I was on the opposite side of the start. I filmed them going around the left, and then I heard the crowd kind of getting an uproar, and I wasn't paying attention to the jumbotron, and he almost hit me when he came all the way back around to go out of the tunnel. I stepped out from away from the wall, and I turned, and there was Jet right there, and he kind of just dog past me. I'm like, holy shit, he's out of the race. And I saw him kind of keel over and like grab his arm. Like I think he was just wrenching in pain from his knee. But I was like, dude, is he out? Did he hurt his shoulder or something? What the hell's going on? But I didn't know it was his knee. But man, you should have seen the people where you couldn't see off camera when he rolled under the past where the edge of the building is and started to roll underneath out the back door. There was a line of dudes running, sprinting after him. I mean, Christian, I didn't know Christian could run that fast, his mechanic, but that boy was cooking, dude. I'd felt bad for anybody who got in his way because he would have clobbered him. But yeah, there was a line of people going out, and Chase Curtis ran down there. When he came back, I go, "Did you see anything?" And he goes, "He got off the bike, hopping into the Asterisk Mobile Medical." I go, "Oh shit, his knee." And he goes, "I don't know, but they're supposedly in Southern California at Doc G's right now getting an MRI." So with all the gambling rules and stuff, they have to let us know if he's gonna. I mean, they kind of have to make an announcement whether he's gonna race at Tampa. So I'm imagining it's gonna come pretty quick, but yeah, what a bummer, dude. I hope he just kind of talking to Ping with his medical deal and the way the thing said, man, it kind of looked like an MCL or something like that. Like it could be that, don't hold me to it, but I trust his opinion over, a lot of people, and just that inside ligament's the MCL, I guess. And that'd be the one that would pop, but I hope he's okay, dude. That kid's been through enough shit this week, so
Yeah.
And it would just suck for the sport to have him out. And if he's out, then I don't get to do awkward moments with Cam and Christian. I'll just have to do awkward moments with Cam.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. Well, no, we won't end it if it doesn't happen. Maybe I'll order one of those cardboard cutouts of him, and I'll just bring it to the races, and I'll have Cameron hold it, and it'll be even more awkward. So maybe it's actually a good thing, But no, I'd rather have Jet there.
Yeah, it was all shaped up for him to probably win it. He got the pair of second place finishes, and then, the moment where he just dabbed the foot, really disastrous. And the championship was shaping up so nice, with all those heavy hitters up there. There's so many guys that are still well and truly in the hunt, mate. And yeah, we just wish him all the best, and hopefully it's a good outcome because, he's such a great rider. And you don't want, after what happened outdoors, you don't want two of those sort of pretty bad injuries and successive seasons, mate, because he's obviously chasing history, isn't he? He stated he wants to go for the winning records and all this stuff, and just motocross, supercross, it's brutal, isn't it, mate? One false move or just one little bit of bad luck, you don't even crash, and that can happen.
Yeah, ask Prado about it, man. He made it 2 1/4 races.
Yeah.
Sucks, man. I mean, I saw he's back in Barcelona rehabbing. Yeah, it just absolutely sucks. And then, but the one thing I did take away from that, I posted that thing with Roxon. He was pretty goddamn frustrated at the end of the third moto, and And it was nice to see Larry Brooks like kind of mentoring him. I mean, even though he's a superstar and done all this and that, Larry was still having the coach conversation with him, which was pretty cool. And Roxon, you can see Roxon kind of suck it up and yeah, you're right, and gave him the fist bump. You know what I mean? So that goes to show what kind of mentor Larry Brooks is. That was kind of a cool thing to see behind the scenes. And then I don't know if Chase was talking about Eli or Kenny, but he got off and then, he looks like he just got out of the shower. He's not even sweating. He's ready to go out to the party. And he tells one of his people on his team, he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm good. I can run one. I can run his pace." I'm like, dude, that's dangerous, dude. If he's like that with Kenny and Eli, or Cooper Webb, they got an uphill battle, dude. But if Tomac can ride like he did in that third moto, good luck. That dude was on rails. I mean, I usually don't film Tomac that much, but I really focused on him that whole third moto, dude. He was just getting it, dude. Just everywhere, quads, the big triple, just greasing everything. That left-hand turn after the big triple where you come back to the wall to the start, dude, he was just gliding through that damn thing. And then as he was coming out of it, he was carrying the front wheel about 6 inches off the dirt for about 50. I mean, just full getting it. I was like, dude, this is so rad, and yeah, Tomac's feeling it. If he gets his start styled, I think we're going to have a Chase and Tomac battle is what I really see now, because even if Jet comes back, I think that knee's going to be pretty damn cumbersome to deal with, right? So we're not, even if he comes back and it was just a stinger, as they said, I would be hard pressed to see him be at 100% and ripping, right? So as long as those two stay healthy, I think it's kind of looking after 4 rounds to be a knockdown drag out between those two,
Yeah, it's exciting, mate. It's shaping up well, and obviously between the top 5 riders, there's 13 points. Obviously Sexton leading, Roxon's 2 back, then Tomac's 9 back, Webb's 10 back. So it's shaping up nicely, mate. And yeah, like Eli said, and you said as well, if you can get those starts, because even he's saying that his speed's outstanding, and he's a pretty humble dude a lot of the time, but he's feeling like he's almost like career best form at the moment. He was saying the body's feeling great, he's happy with the bike. He's always wanting more power out of that 450, whereas most dudes are dialing it back so it's manageable. Tomac just wants to let it eat as much as possible, mate. He's a rare specimen in there, and it must be so awesome for you every week to see him racing in person that close. It's a treat for you, isn't it?
There's nothing like being on the floor of a Supercross race or along the side of the track at a motocross track with Eli Tomac coming past you in beast mode. Yeah, it's just like, holy shit. That guy is just wringing the tits off that bike. He just, Jesus, dude. I was like, what did your parents deny you as a child to make you so angry towards a motorcycle? I mean, what did that thing do to you? You just abusing the piss out of it. That's what he told. Wasn't that what he said to Jace, that he was just using the piss out of that bike? Like, what did that 450 ever do to you but make you money? And you're over here treating it like a redheaded stepchild, man. And yeah, it's definitely a treat to be there to see it. I don't see the whole race, but the stuff I see up close, I wouldn't trade for the world. It's pretty badass and it's visceral, man.
Yeah, it's like Jay said, it's like a single-use 450 with him, and the fans are loving him too. He's probably getting the most cheers just about, isn't it? Him and Deegan are splitting it pretty well, AP.
Dude, where did AP finish?
AP was 9th.
Well, it's better than the 222s in a row he had, but something had to have happened to him preseason that nobody's talking about. But he did did not fall off and forget how to ride a motorcycle at the top levels. Something's had to have. I mean, I can't just for the life of me figure out how he could go from where he was last year to this year. I don't know if he bumped his noggin or landed on his gas cap and his nuts are in his throat. I have no idea what happened to him, but something's just not right in AP land. But I hope the shit he figures it out, because I want to see that guy win again. I'm Team AP.
Yeah, well said, mate. And obviously, some other 450 guys, Hunter Lawrence, just keeping it pretty consistent. Another fifth place finish. He'll be looking to get there on the podium. Jason Anderson, bit of a quieter night from him. He would have been primed to be right up there on that track and, with all those cool sections. And then obviously Justin Hill getting sixth. How good was he, mate? He was just hitting all those rhythms. He loves jumping that stuff. He's got a lot of precision. He calculates all those things super well, mate. So,
Yeah, Hill's in fuck around and find out mode, dude. You know, he's feeling it and he's riding good. Like at the beginning of press, his buddy texts me and goes, "How's he look?" And I go, "Yeah, he looks okay." You know, he wasn't lighting the world on fire. And then like right at the end of qualifying, he just started. I don't know. I noticed. I'm like, dude, he's hauling ass, dude. And then when we got into the mains, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. He was either holding back a little bit or he figured something clicked and they maybe got the suspension perfect or he just finally found his little zone. But dude, he was hauling ass. I put a video of him stuffing that front wheel on the back of rocks and going into the long rhythm back to the sand section. I'm all, do it, but he didn't do it. He's a lot nicer. I would have been like Jeff Matasevich and Damon Bradshaw. I'd have put him in the cheap seats if I had the opportunity, but alas, I don't because I'm a fat pile of shit and I don't know how to ride a motorcycle well. But boy, it would have been funnier than hell to see. But no, I was stoked for him. I mean, that's where he needs to be running. It's top five, and I wouldn't be surprised if he squeaked the podium.
yeah, it's incredible the speed and the skill he has, mate. It's so good to see. Another guy that must be really awesome to see just that close in person. He's just popping everything and he's just got so much bike skill. It's unbelievable, mate. But yeah, you can finish with any points on the 450s, but obviously as well, give us your thoughts on that triumph. First win for Jordan Smith on that brand. Really great moment for him and the bike and the team and everyone, really. So first win for FXR2 as a gear company. So amazing weekend all round. Jordan Smith's in the history books there. He's a top bloke and, he's really happy with that bike, the handling. Everything's going in a pretty good direction and he's a definite title contender, mate. So good on him, mate. You got some pretty good shots of him as well, mate. He was pumped on it. Everyone was pumped on it.
Yeah, I mean Jordan's riding fast, and that bike's no punk. They've got it figured out. When you got the goat tied into developing that bike, you're kind of probably going to be ahead of the curve right off the bat. And they've had podiums last year, and we got a win this year. And I mean they've been up front since day one of the season in 2025. Sucks Styles. He came and waved at the crowd at Anaheim, and that was the last we saw him. I don't know if we'll ever see that guy again, and I'm not joking, which sucks because Styles was cool. That just had to be amazing for him, though. I'd never really met his mechanic, and so I went up to him on the up at the podium when everybody was up there, and I said, "Hey, what's your Instagram so I can tag you?" And he started following me, and I made that little cut of him holding up the pit board, and Scuba Steve comes flying by. Just, oh, fuck yeah, And I think he was more excited than Jordan. I was like, all right, cool. Yep. All right, that's good. Jordan, maybe you want to show a little more enthusiasm for their first win. This dude wasn't even riding. He's ready to throw down and, streaking across the stadium, But that dude was cool as shit. I met, or he started following us back today, so I messaged him, congratulations again. He's like, man, you have no idea how much that win meant and all this and blah, blah, blah. So super good dude, when the good guys win, you're just like, sweet, he wasn't a douchebagger or Johnny Cool Guy or anything like that, so super pumped on him winning. And, the press conference, they somehow got on the subject of age limits, and Deegan's all, man, I don't want to throw no shade at nobody, but I think they need to have an age limit. And Jordan's like father time sitting in between Cole and Hayden. He made it out on top, but he's got two teenagers, their combined age is right up there damn near what Jordan is, and they're nipping at his heels. So if he squeaks out a title, he's going to earn it, dude. And then I'll just kind of fast forward. Juju, he had a rough night. He made it out of there with 2 points still in the red plate, but that boy had a rough night in Arizona, man. I know he probably was like dripping hot candle wax on his nipples later that night, punishing himself or some shit. I don't know, but I imagine he was pretty rough on himself. And yeah, that was kind of rough because when he was riding, you see him in the air just kind of wiggling the bike around. He was feeling saucy. I don't know if he just missed his marks a little bit or pressure or whatever, but I have no doubt he'll be back and firing when we get to Dallas. And then the one I really want to talk about, everybody else, yeah, cool. You guys did good. You didn't break any legs. Parker Ross did pretty good. He ran up front. I've got a bitchin' little edit I'm going to put up of my little sugar buddy there. He's going to love the music I put to that. I'm going to mess with that little shit pretty good. But Billy, old father time, 41-year-old qualified for a Supercross. If you look closely in the video, you'll see his tongue dragging in the spokes during all three mains. But I didn't give a shit. I wouldn't have cared if he just rolled around out there and waved at the crowd, dude. I was just so stoked he qualified, dude. I mean, that guy's worked so hard, and it's like a thing for him. It's like, oh, San Diego's coming here. Let me go crack a rib. And the same one, so he's got that down pretty good. But yeah, that old man knows how to do recovery better than anybody I've ever seen. He's got it down to a science. He's doing all this crazy shit. I mean, pretty soon he's going to start hooking jumper cables on his toes and his fingernails and running electricity through his body or some shit. He's doing some pretty intense stuff every day. But I guess that's what you got to do when you got them old bones and you got to heal up. But it paid off, and he's doing pretty solid. He's swearing by that Nano X Extreme stuff that Grundle sent him. Said, man, this stuff works really good. And he gave me a bottle to try. So next time something makes, I'm going to put that stuff on and try that out. And he was trying some new technology called the Beamer or whatever. That's something I want to try out. But yeah, I got nothing but love for old Billy. And I was just so stoked for him that he made it. And just to watch everything he's done the last 2 years and kind of in my own little way be a part of it and documenting it, it's pretty freaking rad.
Yeah, mate, well said. Great insight. Yeah, it was a pretty fascinating 250 event there, and obviously the series is shaping up well. But yeah, what you were saying on Juju, it's crazy how fast he is. He's just fearless, and when he's like in qualifying those laps top of the board, it's just wild how fast he's pushing those limits, isn't he, mate? But you sort of contrast that with Cole Davies, who's a lot more sort of measured and calculated and just hitting those markers every single time. Won the first two races, appeared as though he'd get the overall win, and just had that adversity. Had that issue on the first lap in the last main to cost him, but he's still got on the podium, mate. He's really coming into his own, and wins probably right around the corner. He's still in the championship fight. Obviously, earlier round, was it round one, he had that issue off the start. But yeah, he'd come back through the field, no worries. Anytime he falls at the start or gets a bad start. But yeah, it was funny. Comments going, obviously the Whitaker's chocolate in the press conference with Jace. He said the Juju comments, don't follow him. And he was like, I was saying this stuff like I wasn't about that life, hitting some of those rhythms. But yeah, he's obviously been a great addition to the series. Obviously, people know him from the Futures or SMX Next. But yeah, it's just crazy. The whoops, everything's pretty dialed at such an early stage, mate. He's made huge progression in a year. So Bobby would be pretty happy with that one. And he's probably, him and Deegan might create a bit of a rivalry there because he's almost at his level, which is pretty scary, isn't it?
Yeah, he was pissed off when he was off camera, off to the side, standing at the podium. Could have fried an egg on his forehead, man. He had that one in the bag and it got away from him, and that boy was not happy with himself. I wouldn't be surprised if he came in and won Arlington. I mean, the dude is just an absolute honey badger out there, dude, and he don't play. But he's getting better on the podium. He's pretty damn funny, dude. That Whitaker's chocolate apparently gets him pretty dialed in.
Good stuff, man.
Never had it, but I told him, I said, you better bring some of that shit to the press conference next at Dallas. So I'm sure he'll be on the podium. So we'll have to give it a little crack and give you a Rednecks review on Whitaker chocolate.
Look forward to it, mate. I might have to send you some over because we definitely have it here in Australia.
Oh yeah, send me some, dude. I'd like to try that shit. I'm a fat boy. I like
Yeah,
chocolate.
yeah, pick a flavour, mate. We'll make it happen. But yeah, on another star racing rider, Moseman actually had pretty good speed all year, hasn't he, mate? He showed it probably his best performance of the weekend. He can run up there with Deegan, Davies, match it for quite a long time. And throughout the first couple of rounds, he's been surging through the field and making heaps of passes after bad starts or falls at the start. So there's some pretty positive signs from Moseman, who was, 2 years ago right up there in that 250 title. So it's good to see him back, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean he's he's coming along good. I think he won one of the motos, didn't he?
He went 6-4-3.
Okay, well he was in the lead on that. Was it the last one? He was in the lead for quite a while.
Yeah, he was leading one of them.
Yeah, dude rips, dude. So he's got to just get a little of that ring rust off of him, and he'll be primed up to win a race. But Deegan, he went 3-2-4, and I honestly think that he kind of thought about the points pictured as, hey, if I crank this out and I crash or blow a wheel, Juju's going to open up a huge gap, and it would have been better off not, to race, right? So he kind of think he just accepted fourth and come back to fight another day, right? I think that's where he's at.
Yeah, and obviously, yeah, that'll do the 250 class. And obviously, we've just got word that Jet Lawrence has just literally dropped now on Instagram news and a post there that he'll be out for 4 months with an ACL and meniscus tear. So that is an absolute disaster for Jet, mate, disaster for the series. And yeah, just really not the news we wanted. Everyone was hoping it was just a stinger, but that's disastrous, isn't it, mate?
More fucked up than a soup sandwich, man. That sucks. I mean, right now, I guarantee you Eli and Jet are bummed because they want to race him and beat him straight up. But there's got to be a little part of him that's going, oh, thank God, which sucks. Just, I mean, what do you do in that situation? Like, okay, well, cool, probably the gnarliest dude in the world. I don't have to race him anymore this season. But at the same time, those guys want to, they want to go up against Mike Tyson. They want to go up against Evander Holyfield. They don't want to go up against, some Joe Blow dude. They want the best of the best in front of them, which I can already hear the assholes if Chase wins the title. Oh, well, Jet wasn't in there, blah, blah, blah. I got my tidy whities so far up my ass. I can already hear that shit, if Chase wins the title. But yeah, that sucks, dude. That really sucks. And I'm going to have to order that cardboard cutout and carry it around the country with me for the next couple months. And two, dude, I mean, I hope the guy just goes and gets his knee fixed and just gets on a plane, says fuck everybody, and goes to the Bahamas for 2 months and just chills on the beach and turns off his phone and grows a beard and smokes a couple of doobies or something, just fuck everybody. I think that guy's earned it at this point in life. Maybe it could be a good recharge. I mean, look what happened to Ricky when Ricky got his knee fixed. He came back, had a perfect season. Could you imagine if he did that? That'd be freaky shit. But yeah, I just hope he actually gets some time off and tunes out all that bullshit with Myrtle and can just focus on getting healthy and staying hungry. That this one's gonna burn in on that kid. He's gonna come back one pissed off little kangaroo.
Yeah, well said, mate. Obviously, Ricky Carmichael was one of the first to reply on that, just saying how he hates that so much for him and everyone close to him. Won't be the same not having you in the fight for Supercross. Hope the surgery goes well and have no doubt you'll be back. Keep your head up. So, wise words of support there, mate. But yeah, just definitely won't be the same without him out there. And I guess as you can finish off with a bit of words on that, and also how good is the 250 East class going to be, mate? Pretty stacked, exciting. There's a few question marks over a few blokes, but just as I rattle a few names off, mate, it's going to be pretty hard to get a top 10, isn't it? You got like Hymas, Faulkner, Kitchen, McAdoo, not sure how his status is. Hammaker, Brown, Bennick, Thrasher, Vial, Hampshire. Cochrane's going to be missing. I believe Voland and Mumford should be there. So that's wild, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, I want to see Max. Really want to see how that weird brake thing he's got going on works for him. But I think Max is going to be in a real good spot being at if anybody could maximize their potential with clubs program, it's got to be Max Voland, because the guy was just lightning fast and in Supercross right before before he took his hip out. What was that? He did one round and then hurt his hip, right? But he was just ripping and then he got hurt, and there went the PC ride. But if anybody can maximize that, I think Club's going to be very, very good for that kid. So I really want to see what he does. Interested to see what Austin does. Who knows what's going on with Cameron and what's his name, Levi. There's some question marks about those guys. Apparently, hopefully they're down getting body armor and hockey gear. Maybe Fox is making them some hockey gear. Bulletproof vests, airbags. I don't know. Shit, get them whatever they need. And maybe a boy in the bubble. They can ride the bike inside the bubble. Be like a roller derby on there and blowing people off the track with this big roller ball going around. But fuck, they got to do something, dude. Mitch is going to end up with a drinking problem if this shit keeps up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Going to be damn interesting. I want to see Seth. Really, really want to see Seth. That guy can ride Supercross. Rookie of the year, had a race win. Faulkner. I think Pierce Brown's going to be dangerous, dude. I think right out the gate, the two most dangerous guys are probably going to be Brown and Faulkner, and you got to put Seth up there with them because when Seth's feeling it, Seth rips, dude. I mean, he damn near got that win at Philly last year. So those are kind of my top three in that class. Who knows what's up with Kitchen, but apparently there's some questions on whether he's hurt or not. Nobody's really said for sure. Could be a bunch of bullshit, but I don't know. Those are my three I pick.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting either way, mate. And you'll be there. And obviously, any final thoughts and any other stuff you're particularly looking forward to in Tampa, just watching this awesome series roll on, it's going to be great, mate. And yeah, the series, a lot of those guys are based out that side, so it'll be a home race for many as well.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to get on that side and just see some different racers and be cool to see ruts. I've never been to Tampa, see what that dirt's like, but we've had 4 hard pack, slick, marbly tracks. It'll be interesting to see those guys just having a rut fest and how those guys handle all that. And I want to see Austin on that Triumph. I think he's going to be wicked.
Yeah, and obviously Whiskey Throttle, all the lads are good, mate. Just quickly, Ping and the crew, everything's firing on all cylinders, mate. He's back and healthy and well again.
Yeah, he was more screwed up than a bag of hammered dicks, and he's finally back to work, and he feels pretty good. And Nate made it back from Arizona. He didn't get kidnapped or molested or anything like that, and hell, I made it back. I didn't have any road rage incidents, so we're winning. But yeah, just ready to be home for a couple of days and see my wife and remember what she looks like, and then I head back out the door.
You're a busy man, mate. The schedule's awesome, and yeah, you're certainly crushing the content. So yeah, thanks again for joining us, mate. Before we let you go, we'll thank the sponsors in Fly Racing, 24MX, Dirt Store, and Fuchs Silkaline for all their incredible support, as without them, none else would be possible. All right, thanks again for joining us, Jeff. Really appreciate it. Drive safe, and we'll speak soon.
Okay, bud.
No worries, mate. Have a good one.